Hey, what's up? This is Dylan, and I thought I would show you the progress we've made on the Captions plugin. All right, so I've already exported the audio from my project, and so I'll just click on Select Audio, and then I'll just double-click the audio file, and then I'll just use this local model, and I'll click Continue. All right, so that took about 30 seconds to do an 8-minute video, so not bad. All right, some of the new updates or the new things we've added is this frame rate. So you want to add or match up your frame rate. So the project I'm doing is 23.98, but you have all these other choices here. If your project is different, just make sure and select what your project frame rate is. Of course, we've got all these text preferences that I've showed before. I'm going to leave everything as is, but I want to make this a red. Where is my little color picker? That's one thing that I sent to the developers yesterday, is the color picker kind of hides. It's not behind it. Where is it? All right. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So we're going to fix that. Let's move on. We'll just leave it white. Okay, so this is some new stuff down here, these title settings. This first one says, what's the max number of words in one line? So right now it's set to 1, but I'm going to crank that up and I'm going to go to like a 6 or a 5. Let's go to 6. And then max number of lines. So it's at 1 right now, but because the title didn't finish, it added a second line no matter what. So I'm going to go up to, I want to go up to 4 here. And then I can scroll through these to see how they look. If I increase the number of words, then it gets closer to, that was 4 lines, now it's down to 3. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to put this down towards the bottom a little bit. So I'll just click and drag down on this Y value to move it down in space. And I'm not going to go too far. I'm just going to do about -300. Okay. So now I've got these captions or these titles where it's between 2 and 3 lines per caption. And you'll notice too, right now in this very first version, we can't change the timing. Here is the time code for how long that title is. It goes from 0 to 3 minutes and 4 frames, it looks like. So that can't be changed right now, but maybe in a future one. Okay, so I'll click Open in FCP, and this is something I know about and the developers know about too, so we're going to try and fix that. It's like a little warning that's not helpful at all. But I can just click OK and then click Open in FCP again. There it goes. And I'll click on this to open it up in a library. And it creates this new project. So if I open up this project, I want to minimize that. We're just going to move that out of the way. And if I open up this project, now I can select everything, all the titles, copy, go back to my project, go home, and there we go. So let's just check out a section of it.
All right, next one is Prism Blur. I'll double click Prism to add it to my selected clip, and immediately we have this kind of old school retro vibe going on.
Nice, that is working really well. The AI conversion from speech to text works really well. And there's different models in there that we can use. And so you can make it more, you can select a model so that it's faster to transcribe or more accurate, that kind of thing. All right, let's bring back the options here. And let's make one for a vertical video. So I'm going to switch over here to vertical, and you can see things are getting cut off on the sides. So what I need to do is increase the number of lines. Let's go up to 5, and let's decrease number of words. Now this isn't perfect because some words are longer or shorter, right? And so you could have 5 words on one line, but if they're all the word professional, then they'll get cut off. So again, this is the very first basic version. It will get better with time. All right, so I'm just checking these out. It's looking pretty good. You might notice it looks a little bit off, right? It doesn't look quite centered. That's something I told the developer about as well. And so, but when we import it into Final Cut, it's centered and it looks fine. Okay, So that looks good. Let's click on Open in FCP. And we get that little message again. So I'll click again and I'll select my library. And then let's minimize this actually. So I can work, and I'll open up that project, and now I have all my vertical video titles. So I'll just copy that, and I'm going to go back to my vertical video here and paste them in. All right, let's check out a section of that.
Wow, that's trippy. All right, let's take a look at this focus blur. I'm going to drag and drop it onto this clip of a time lapse I made. Focus blur is
Nice.
really good.
Okay, so that works pretty well. I want to show you one more thing as well. You can also export these as SRT files. So let's open up our caption settings here, and I'll just click on Export SRT, and I'll just save that. Replace, I was testing it earlier. Okay, now let's minimize again. All right, so now if I come in here to this project, and then I go to File, Import, Captions, I can select my SRT file, and boom, it automatically adds these captions
horizontally and
to
vertically as well with these sliders. So if I turn that down, all
these
the blur is
closed
vertical,
captions
and
to my
if I turn
project.
vertical down,
And of course, we can click on them and update them up here. Now, the closed captions have very specific standards, and so you'll notice that the font that I selected or the color or any of that, it didn't matter because it has to have such specific formatting. And so it puts it down towards the bottom in the safe zones, and it adds a little black bar behind all of it. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. You can see it right here. And it just formats it to the standards they have. Okay, so if you need like some closed captions for your projects, this is a really quick way to do that. You can transcribe your voice and convert it into SRT files. All right, let's pull that back up. And I'm going to release this after a couple of fixes next week. And I know it's very basic, and that's the purpose. Right now, it is for basic captions, right? It's not for these really fancy captions that you see on social media, although it will be in the future. So for right now, it's just going to be for basic captions. I want to get this into people's hands. I want them to use it. And then the money that I make from this basic version, I'll put back into the product and I'll make it better. I'll add more features. One that I want to add is one word at a time. So just, one word pops up on a screen at a time as I'm talking. And then I also want to look into having, instead of using these sliders, having some sort of automatic width adjustment based on the video size. But those are just like a couple ideas. I want to add a ton of cool animations, and we're also going to add way more text preferences like outlines and shadows and glows, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to come for this, but I think it's more important to get it out there, get it used, and then learn from how people are using it and use that information to make it way better. So I'm excited. I'm hoping next week we'll see. I hope so. I still need to make a demo video and a tutorial video showing how to do everything, but it's getting really close. And thank you so much for following along, and let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or any feedback or have any questions at all. All right, take care. Have a great weekend. Happy editing.